Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 9th of November, it is 5 o'clock and I'm just heading off out on an Uber shift. I was just about to log on. It's coming up with the usual false surges all over the place just to try and entice you out, but other than that, that's about it. So I will give you a little bit of an update in the next hour or so when I get a chance. So a little update time. I haven't had a chance really to give an update. I started at 5, I worked until 9, and then I've just had something to eat and been on charge for about an hour, so it's just after 10 o'clock now. So I had done 4 hours. Where was we? Was it 4 I started or was it 5? It was 5, sorry, not 4. Yeah, so my first job was on Ormskirk over to Southport. £16.14 for 9.4 miles. Customer cancelled. Then I had a £5.79 for 1.3 miles. £6.93 for 2.9 miles. XL customer cancelled. A lot of people don't want to wait these days for for Ubers or for taxis, for anything, Back in the day, you're waiting for hours. Now you'll have a passenger in, you'll accept your next job, and I'm thinking, okay, that customer now has to wait maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and then they're cancelling because they can't be bothered waiting, and you're thinking, well, how quick do you want your taxi? So and then went on to a £6.84 for 0.78 of a mile, £5.87 for 1.4 miles. Then I had a Southport to Ormskirk, £17.57 for 9.3. I only accepted it because it was decent-ish. It was like £2 a mile, and I thought, well, even if I drive there and back, that's just over half an hour. So it was like £18 for half an hour, so it wasn't too bad. Tonight, I think I've blocked or unpaired, should I say, 2 different passengers. They've just started doing me head in, the way people are just so rude. So like, I picked these passengers up from the cinema in Southport, and they were going to Ormskirk, so it's like a good 18-minute ride. So they both get in, you don't really get much of a hello, just a and you set off. You do the normal, try and have a little chat. They don't want to, fair enough, but then you get nothing the whole journey, just complete silence. You get there, you open the doors and say, okay, have a nice night, bye now, and the two of them just climb out and just walk off. It's just so snobby and snotty. I just don't know why. I mean, I get some people aren't really big chatters, that's fine, I'm probably not myself, but it's not hard to get in, say hello, and then when you climb up, say bye, is it? I mean, that's like, even a child would do that. Yes, basically, I've just started unpairing myself and just leaving negative feedback and saying, these people are just disrespectful. Because I think it's disrespectful to walk into a room, or a cab or whatever, and just ignore the person that's there. So anyway, they got blocked. And then headed back towards Southport. Got a Southport to Southport, £11.94 for 5.3 miles, and then a £10.77 for 4.2, and then a £5.12 for 2.2 miles. I then went on to block these ones as well. So basically I went to some big, Millionaires Row in Southport. This family start coming out. Looked like it was the mum and the dad, who are probably in the 70s or 80s, and then obviously the wife and the husband. So the wife comes over first, they open the door, turn around to say hello, she just climbs in, she starts doing this like she's counting the seats. So I thought, that's a bit weird. I mean, imagine a driver's opened the door for you, you get in, you ignore them, you don't say hello, you just start counting seats. So I thought, that's a bit strange. I won't interrupt her and say hello if she's counting seats. And then she just sat down. So I thought, alright, okay then. So then it looks like it was her mother-in-law then come over, and I knew straight away, I thought she's going to struggle to climb into the back here. So anyway, she starts struggling to climb on the back, and I thought, well, if your daughter-in-law can't be bothered to help you, I'm not. So then the daughter-in-law was like, oh, you're okay, oh, go on, you'll manage. You're like proper posh, proper stuck up. So she finally gets in, and then I think the granddad kind of gets into the front again. The door opens, the son, neither of them say anything to me, just get in, sit down. The last guy gets in, sits down, no one says anything, so I just press the button and shut the door. I'm thinking, wow, 4 people have got in and nobody has acknowledged me whatsoever. So I thought, right, okay, so I just pulled off. Anyway, the passenger seatbelt starts bleeping, and he goes, oh, is that me? I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I can't do it. So I thought, alright, I'll do it for him, because he's probably about 80. Click his seatbelt on for him. Nothing. Not even like, oh, thanks for that. It's like, I was being treated like some sort of like scumbag. So then anyway, the journey was only like a short journey. It's like 4 miles just into Southport there. So then we pull up outside the restaurant, I open the doors. The 2 women climb out the back, don't say anything. The guy gets out the back, comes round the front to help what I believe is his dad or whatever, and then just shuts the door and walks off. I was just like, I just don't get how you can be so rude. It's just, honestly, I know they're obviously posh and they've got a few quid, so, they're stuck up. I get that, but then even then, you can still say, hello or bye or anything. So anyway, they got left negative feedback, 1 star, and I unpaired from them as well. So basically, I can't be bothered anymore. If people are just snotty, I'm just going to start blocking everybody, and there'll probably be no one left to pick up in Southport, to be honest. But then went on to do a 765 for 2.1 miles. But then done an 1192 for 5.8 miles. And then the last one I've done was, I don't know why these people do it on their names when you're picking them up, especially from a hospital. They'll put down doctor and then their name, and I'm thinking, oh, like you don't do it, do you? Just put your name down. So anyway, if you haven't been to Southport A&E, it'll either come up and say Southport A&E when they book it, because they've booked it correctly, which means you go to the main entrance. Probably 20% of the people do that. The rest of them, it pops up and it says BP Pulse. Now the only BP Pulse in the whole of Southport is the charging stations that don't actually work, and they're right next to the main entrance. So when it pops up BP Pulse, I know it's Southport Hospital. So I drive down there, and when you get there, there's kind of like 2 entrances. You come in off the roundabout, you can go to the left, which loops you around to the main entrance, and that's for drop-offs, taxis, private hires, whatever. And then the one on the right is all hatched off. It's just for ambulances, because they'll drive in, whether it's a patient transfer or whatever. It's mainly patient transfer, because the one for the A&E is a little bit further down. So anyway, it's all hatched off, so you always go left, you loop round, and that's where you pick everyone up from. So we'll loop round, because that's where the pin is, because that's where the BP charging stations are, and then I park there. So just to my left is the back of all the ambulances, the patient transfers, and then I can see the GPS of this doctor is on the other side of the ambulance. So she's on the hatched area where I'm not allowed to go, nor is the pin that she's dropped. So anyway, first message comes up, and again, I can't stand snotty people, not hello. It's just straight into the conversation like I know them. So the first message is, I'm outside the main entrance. And I'm thinking, well, I know you're outside the main entrance, because that's where the PP charging stations is, and that's where I am. 2 seconds later, the next message comes up, where are you? And I'm thinking, well, you know where I am, because I am where you've put the pin on the map. Like, it's not hard, you've got a phone in your hand, you're a doctor, surely you can work this out. So I messaged her and I said, I am behind the ambulances. So she sends a message back, she was like, yeah, I'm on the other side of the ambulances. It's like, it was so petty. It was like an argument I'd have with like my 5-year-old. So I just sat there. I thought, well, I'm not going to come out of here, because I can't physically drive to where she wants me to go, and then on top of that, I've come to where she's asked me to come. So anyway, she walks round, Again, I opened the door for her. She climbs in, not a hello. She was like, "Oh yeah, I was stood over there." I said, "I know, yeah." I said, "But I can't go there." And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's the main entrance." I said, "No, that's the main entrance for the ambulances, for the patients drop-offs." I said, "I'm not a patient drop-off." I said, I'm not allowed to drive on there." She was like, "Oh right, I thought you would have come over to me." I said, "No." I said, "I've come to where you've put the dot on the map." So that's where I've come to. That's how it works. "Oh well," and as you know, we're creeping forward at this point, and then like she looks down. She was like, "Just where that sign is, that's where I was stood." I said, I know where you were stood." I said, "Because I could see you on the map." I said, "It shows me where you stood." I said, "But you're stood in the wrong place. You've booked me to come and pick you up from here. You've then decided to go and stand over there." I said, "So you need to come here." "Oh well, in the past, you know, where did they come over there?" I said, "Well, that's fine." I said, "If they want to go over there, that's up to them." I said, "But if they drive in there and they get seen, they'll get a ticket." I said, "Because it's for ambulances." "Oh no, I'm sure you can go down there." I said, "There's a big sign saying ambulances." I said, "This isn't an ambulance." It was almost like a passive aggressive kind of like argument, you know. She's like, instead of her just saying, "All right, afternoon, evening, anything," just getting in, she wants to be treated like royalty because she's a doctor. She wants everyone to know she's a doctor. However, she can't use an app, so you know, it goes to say, well, what kind of treatment you're getting when a doctor can't even realise that she's put a dot 10 metres away from where she stood, and basically because of her inability to use the app, she's trying to blame the driver. So anyway, she got left negative feedback as well. And the funniest thing is, as the job popped up and I was on my way to go and pick it up, it came up and it said, you know, doctor whatever, and she had a really poor rating. And I thought, bloody hell, how does a doctor manage to get a poor rating? And there you go, the proof's in the pudding. That's the type of attitude she comes out with. So it's obviously, I'm guessing she's had that attitude obviously with other drivers as well, and they've all just gone, "Do you know what, you can have negative feedback because you're a bit of an idiot." And that was about it. I've been having loads of daft jobs again, job requests coming across. For example, where was I here? I was in Ormskirk earlier on. XL job pops up again. It was in Wigan. So it was 25 minutes away, or 11.1 miles, and it was a 6-minute job, or 2 miles, and they were offering me £7.71. So basically they wanted me to drive to Wigan, complete this job, which would have took best part of 40 minutes, for £7.70, which works out at about 50p a mile. So again, obviously ignored that. Sure there was another one as well. I'm not taking a screenshot of it. I must have took a screenshot because it was so ridiculous. But yeah, I've been getting offered the usual daft jobs, especially the XLs, just miles and miles away. You know, the rates coming out at around 50p a mile. And again, all that's doing is just basically damaging my rating, purely because I'm not accepting them. But other than that, total, so I'm on £113.53, and I've done 4 hours, so that worked out at £28 an hour, so it wasn't too bad, to be honest. You can see the difference from last night, whereas even though the jobs are a similar sort of distance, the better paying. Don't really know the reason behind that, because there's still plenty of Uber drivers knocking about, so it's not like there's a shortage in the surges, because I haven't had a single surge. But yeah, it's basically Uber will basically just put the prices up on a Saturday night, because obviously they're paying the drivers more than they do on a Friday night. You know, I've come out and done basically the exact same hours, and I'm going to continue to do the same hours now till whatever time I get bored tonight. But yeah, Uber 100% pay you better rates on a Saturday night than they do a Friday night, which I've noticed, to be honest, over the past couple of weeks, because I've been saying time and time again, it's got to the point now where I feel like it's pointless working a Friday night. I think yesterday, I'm sure I got like £18 an hour or something, and I thought, that can kind of be like an average weekday dead hours. You know, I've had times I've been slightly worse, but I've had times where I've been on £25 an hour during the week. So yeah, Fridays are just really crap. I might give it one more go maybe next Friday, but again, if I'm just pulling like £18 an hour, I'll just knock the Fridays on the head, because I'd rather have my Friday night at home, to be honest, and spend time with the family than come out to work for a measly £18. And by the time you've taken all your deductions off and your tax and everything, you're probably on like £12 an hour, and I'm not working, especially a Friday night, for £12 an hour. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm just finishing my charge now. It's not far off 9:30, probably because I've been waffling. But yeah, I'm fully charged again now, and I will carry on. So I'll give you another update shortly. Oh good. I was going to say little update. Just see if I'll accept this. I'll accept that. Cancel our little update. I'll get back to you in a bit with a little update. So, little update. I can't remember where I was before. Was it 11:30 or 12:30? Let me have a little look. Where was we? Update 5 hours. I think it was 11:30. I honestly can't remember. I'll just go from around 12ish. I honestly can't remember. It must have been 11:30, because there's some tips here that I haven't said thanks for. Well, there's quite a few. Oh dear, where are we? Yes, we're carried on 10:30. So where was we? 10:30. 4:62 for a 1.6 mile, and then a 4:43 for a 1.2. And then that would have been a 6:51 for 5 miles, but they'll give me a £2 tip as well, so it's 8:51. Then I've had an XL, £15.18, which includes a £2 tip. Just thank them. That was for 3.6 miles. And then at 8.82 for 4.86 miles. Another XL 722 for 1.5 miles. And then a 531 for 1.4 miles. And then a Surge job, an XL, including a £1 tip, 1163 for 1.8 miles. And then a 423 for 1.6 miles. Another XL. I've had quite a few XLs tonight. £18.24 for 7.8 miles. That was quite a funny one. I had some passengers already in the car, and I was dropping them off, and then as soon as they dropped them off, I got a message saying, "Oh, you've just drove past us." And I said, "Yeah, I'm dropping these other passengers off." So I went to pick them up. There was a group of like, I think 3 women and 2 blokes or something. Yeah, because no, I think it was 3 women and 3 blokes. Anyway, so they're older. I'd say they're in the 60s, and all completely bladdered. And one of the women comes home. She's like, "Oh my God, look at him! That's the fittest driver I've ever seen." I was like, "Oh my God!" She went, "I'm sitting in the front with him." So luckily, one of the blokes jumped in the front. He went, "Don't worry, I'll save you." And then the mate was going, "Bloody hell, I can't believe you're saying that. Your husband's with you." Anyway, so they were in the car for about 10 minutes while I dropped them off, and she's just asking questions all the way back, chewing my ear off and everything. I think she was just doing it to wind her husband up, to be honest. And then I got another job, including a £1 tip, £9.26 for 5 miles, £3.87 for 0.8 of a mile. And then I've just been to an XL job that I cancelled because I sat there for 5 minutes, and I got £5.75. I think the job was £8, so it wasn't too bad, to be honest. One of them other jobs before, I was towards Birkdale kind of way, picking them up and taking them into Southport. And as I pulled up, I seen 3 women. One had a dog on the lead, but 2 looked like they were all like dolled up, like they'd been to town, and one wasn't. So I thought, oh, they must just be talking to the mate in the street. So I done a U-turn, pulled up and opened the door, and they come over, And next thing I heard the woman going, "Come on, Betty, come on, Betty, that's it, jump, up, up." I turned around and went, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And she was like, what's up?" I said, "No," I said, I don't do dogs, unfortunately. I said, "You have to order an Uber Pets if you're taking a dog." And she was like, I didn't realise." I said, "Yeah, unfortunately." And she was like, "Oh, it'll be okay, it'll just sit on the floor." I said, "No." I said, "It's my car." I said, "You're not putting a dog in here." Like, who takes a dog out with them when they're going out for a drink? I think it was like 11 or half 11. So she's like, are you sure? Because, sometimes you can wait for up to an hour for, to get a taxi home. I was like, well, don't take your dog out with you. I'm sure, like, some drivers might mind because they just want the money. Other drivers, maybe they like dogs. I don't know. I don't like animals whatsoever. So, next thing she's holding the dog up, saying, "Oh, look at him." I'm thinking, as if. Big dog jumping in the back, scratching all over the place, scratching me leather. And for what? Measly £6-7. "Nah, you're right, thanks." So I said, "I'm just going to have to cancel the job." I said, "Because you can't get in because you've got a dog with you for some reason." "Oh, right, okay then." So, yeah, I don't know who else takes dogs or declines the jobs because they've got a dog. My biggest thing is who goes out for a drink and takes a dog with them. That's a bit weird. So anyway, I'm currently on £226.43 and I've just done 7 hours, maybe just over. So I'm on about £32 an hour. So yeah, not too bad. I've actually just come offline because every time I go to do an update, another job comes through. So yeah, it's like I said, it's just after 1:30 now. And yeah, I don't know how much more I'll be doing. It's definitely busier tonight, and there's definitely more people going to and from town. Whereas yesterday, i.e. Friday night, I think I must have took 1 or 2 people to town. Everybody else was just going from house to house. And a lot more Excel jobs tonight. But the biggest thing is, you can clearly see that a lot of the jobs, I'm being paid almost double what I was being offered yesterday for pretty much the exact same mileage. So yeah, if you're thinking about coming out of a weekend, it's Saturday. Uber pays you more on a Saturday. Fact. So yeah, I'll give you another update in a bit. I'll let you know how I'm getting on. So, final update. It is 3:30 and I've just got home. So it's been 2 hours since the last update. Just scroll back to 1:30. Yeah, so I had that XL that was cancelled. But then went on to I was still in Southport. It was a £5.79 for 2 miles. It was then quite quiet. I could start to see all the taxis all backed up along Lord Street. So I thought, right, I'm going to get out of here now. I'm going to head more towards like Ormskirk just before heading home. So we got into Ormskirk for around 2 o'clock. I then got a little Ormskirk to Ormskirk job. Well, I got that as I was on my way in. We got 11.67 for a 6.8 mile job. I then got a £9.17 for 1.7 miles. I'd ran a couple of miles for that though, coming back from the job before. That then led on to a £4.94 for 2.3 miles. And then the last job was £4.51 for just over a mile. And then it was just really quiet. A lot of the jobs that were coming up were miles away. A job would pop up, it was like 7 miles for £8 from Ormskirk to Skem. So I'd click X because I was like, no, I'm not interested. 20 seconds later, the same job pops up again. So you click X, I don't want it. A job pops up going to, it was down to like Bootle or something. again, basically like £1 a mile. So I didn't want to collect X. And then the same Skem job popped up again, so I collect X. And then the same Maghull job, Bootle job popped up, so I collected. It was just kept repeating over and over again. And I thought, I drove towards Ormskirk, little town centre, and I've probably seen about 4 or 5 Uber drivers all kind of parked up waiting for a job, and they're obviously just all cherry picking, thinking, oh, don't want this, don't want this. I thought, I just can't be faffed with that. Too much hassle. So yeah, I just headed home. I'd had enough. So I ended up finishing on £263, and I've done 9 hours, just shy of 9 hours to be honest, but I just kind of rounded it up so it was a bit easier. So I finished on about £29.30 an hour, which, yeah, isn't too bad to be honest. Yeah, the only way I could have improved that really would have been to, I could have started my shift a little bit earlier, an hour or two earlier, because, you know, it's been quite consistently busy throughout, you know, and I could have probably easily made like another £30 to £60 on top of that, yeah, which would have took me over the £300 mark. But yeah, all in all, not too bad. Was it 263? What did I get last Saturday? Last Saturday, 215. Saturday before didn't work for some reason. One before that, thinking about it, we got 150. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Alright, yeah, so it's probably been like my best Saturday for about a month. But yeah, not too bad. I'll have a little look at the breakdown. Yeah, got £7 in tips. See if anyone's left any sort of like negative reviews or anything. No, still the same. Still on a rating of 4.96. How many trips have I done now? I've done 1,138 trips, but only 476 have bothered to leave any feedback. What else popped up before? Oh, the gold status, Uber Gold or something. Still don't fully understand it. I had to collect so many points to keep or retain the Uber Gold, and I had to do that before the end of the December, so I've done that. Which I think I've done that yesterday, so it just says collect another 502 points to achieve platinum. Not that it does anything, to be honest. The only thing I've heard was when I was talking to another Uber driver, because I was a passenger. He's been doing it for years. He told me that when you get to platinum, you definitely get more reservation jobs, which are sent your way. Don't know how true that is, but that's what he was saying anyway. Not that I'm a fan of the reservation jobs, as if you've seen any of the other videos, all Uber do is mess you about on them, and so do the customers, to be honest. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to log off now. I'm not going to be coming on tomorrow because I'm too busy. So I will be back out again on Monday. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.